Alright, welcome back. Round 3 here with Mono Black Zombies on TCGplayer.com. I'm Conley Woods. We're going to fight through one more of these matches. I put out a notice on Twitter for Magic Online to let them know about the bug. And there's a good chance that, well, I guess they're either going to hotfix for Wednesday. I don't know. They either have to hotfix or ban that card or something, because it's not really fair to let. I'm going to try to be as well mannered with it as I possibly can, and even try to have it not come up if I can. If I could block, if I'm planning to block with a copter or something. I'm not going to go out of my way to make it work, but at the same time, I don't want to ignore this deck synergy with it, because that's kind of like what I'm trying to accomplish. Obviously, it's one of my main outlets. Like this hand, I'm not going to discard, even though the literal synergy's in it. But I have 2 copters on the draw with decent mana. But yeah, I can't imagine that in the wild they're going to want people to have access to that, because that's a very strong synergy that is not supposed to happen. And if people are going to go out of their way to build decks to take advantage of this bug, that would not be a good thing. So I'm a little worried about posting on Twitter on Magic Online, because some other people can take advantage of it in the meantime. But at the same time, it's kind of one of those bugs that does seem rather urgent. So mailing them and going through that whole process might not be the best at 11 o'clock at night. Losing something here. Probably take Colossus, because he doesn't know about any of the combo shenanigans. Well, I mean, he knows this is a madness card. He knows I have a copter in play, so he might just do that for that purpose. Alright, he did take the Diagraph Ghoul. We drew Haunted Dead. So this time we're going to Crypt Breaker plus Copter, get 1,000,000 damage in. And then, I'm sorry, we're going to get 3 damage. It's not 1,000,000 damage. And then next turn we're going to Haunted Dead and be able to activate everything. So there's an actual chance we might discard one of the floorboards here if we draw something really good. I could also just cast one of the floorboards this game potentially too, which is, it'll look really awkward if I do that. Actually, I think I'm just going to discard it now. Drawing that Dark Salvation. My opponent's playing a deck that could easily have creatures. He could be on some type of Planeswalker Brew or something like that, in which case the front of the floorboards obviously would have been better. But my next turn's already filled up by just casting Haunted Dead and attacking with everything. So it felt like having a removal spell would be better than having the from under floorboards at this point. Plus, I can ignore the I can get around the bug, which is nice. As a show of good faith. Get another one. I'm sure one of these is going to die. To Harness Lightning or something along those lines. Unlicensed Disintegration. Fiery Temperature. Yep. I'm gonna discard this Fen because I could just cast Colossus, cast Dark Salvation for 1, draw a card. I guess I could just cast Dark Salvation for the 3 mana and draw a card. That might be better because I could actually animate Copter that way. In either case, Fen is probably the worst card there, so I'm fine with that. A scoop. Alright. So I'm going to assume Mardu vehicles, but he had Transgress and Fiery Temper, so maybe not. Maybe he is a slower, like more Planeswalker. Yeah, he didn't know cheap creatures, he had no vehicles, so that can't be Mardu vehicles. He's probably more like Mardu Planeswalkers, or possibly some type of weird graveyard deck. But I'm going to assume some type of like Mardu Planeswalker deck. So I'm going to bring in, I'm going to take out these Key to the Cities, as I don't expect them to be relevant. I'm going to bring in some Transgresses and some Ruinous Pass. I'm going to take out some of these. Guess I probably want. So I have one slot left. It's either. This Key to the City might be better. Key to the City is actually going to be better than these, so I'm just going to go ahead and take those out and bring in the 3 Key to the Cities. I don't have any removal except for Ruinous Path, Liliana, and Ob Nixilis at this point, but I don't really think I need it. Key to the City, while it might not, the unblockable part might not be the best in this particular matchup, the draw card still will be, and the discard at instant speed will be. And it's going to be better than Dark Salvation or Sinister Concoction, I imagine. So I could bring in Lost Legacy here, but I don't quite know what he's playing, and I don't think it's going to be that solid of a choice. So we'll be right back for Game 2 of Round 3 here momentarily. All right, welcome back to Game 2 of Round 3 here. Got an excellent starting hand. That's one thing that this deck does a lot better than the Mono Black Eldrazi deck, and one of the reasons that I kind of wanted to look at it first among the discarded brews. The format really, at least in Denver, it really felt like curving out or being able to respond to your opponent's curving out was of utmost importance. There's just so much that happens in the early turns of the game that if your deck playing from behind, you can win games playing from behind if you get your right draw, but there are some games you just literally cannot win from behind. No matter what your draw is, your opponent will beat you because people do their proactive things so aggressively and so well in this format that sometimes playing from behind just doesn't work. So there are some decks where you just match up, nut draws and you come out behind, and that's not the best feeling in the world. I'm going to play Copter here because I did not draw a land, and I would really like to. I guess I could block his Copter. Yeah, I'm going to leave back to block his Copter. I took out most of our removals, so looks like he might be on Mardu vehicles, and he just had a really bad draw last game. He played 3 lands and just a couple of removal spells. It'd be really weird to me if he was on Mardu vehicles, but obviously we're seeing Mardu colors in a Copter right now, so can't be that weird. That's fun. He gets one of my 2 from unders. Alright. Play this, get in for 3. Probably discard Key to the City here. Get it for 4, excuse me. Oh, no, I'm going to discard one of these Transgressive Minds. I don't need 2 of those. If I have to fire one of those off next turn, I'll be a little sad. No, I guess I won't be sad if I had to fire one. If I had to fire them off 2 turns in a row, I'd be a little sad. Even if we don't draw a land, we're actually not doing too bad here. We still get in for 5 theoretically, and transgress him next turn. He could draw Galvanic Bombardment, which would give him a little bit of breathing room here, but oh no, he's got Fiery Temper. Okay, never mind. See what he kills. I'm actually be surprised to see what he kills. Not surprised. Curious. I don't know why I said surprised. I'd be curious to see what he kills. Nope. Still trying to draw land. Probably going to discard Key to the City this time. I could discard Ruinous Path, though. I think I'm just going to play Transgress the Mind. Can't draw a land to save my life. Bloodhall Priest, get out of here. He can discard Fiery Temper and kill my thing. That's fine. It's not fine, but it's fine. I would definitely love to draw another land at some point. Okay, go to 11. He kills Crypt Breaker. I assume. I guess he could go to face. It would be a little aggressive. Yep. Alright, that's actually not the worst, because if I do draw a swamp, I can at least cast it and potentially block or something. But I gotta attack here. Come on, swamp. You're killing me, Hoss. Killing me. I drew a lot of extra cards this game. I did not. 15 cards and only 2 lands. That is unfortunate. My opponent is... Oh, he did better. 4 lands and 14 cards. It's quite a bit better. Especially bad because from under the floorboards would have gained us some amount of life. Why wouldn't he just madness that in play? Oh, because then he gets in less damage. Guess that makes some sense. Yeah, I don't think I can... I don't think I have any way to live. Unless he doesn't have another creature. I highly doubt that's the case. Because I'm going to be at 2. I'm going to need 3 blockers. Minimum. Which I think I could have. But if he has any... Oh, no, I'm just dead. Dead. Alright, at least now we know he's Mardu vehicles, which is important. He's got like a weird brew going on, but it's definitely like a Mardu mid-range vehicles deck. But we probably don't want these Ruinous Paths. Transgress is... I don't know. I could take a relief Transgress, but I do think I want the Dark Salvations. I guess those don't... I guess I want something to kill Thopter. Do 2 Dark Salvations, 1 Sinister Concoction, 1 Essence Extraction. Actually, I'll take out a Key to the City for a 2nd Sinister Concoction. And play this over... actually kind of like that. Alright, I'm going to try this. I don't know. I don't have 100% confidence in this particular build, but I think it is matched up pretty well against what we saw, which, to be fair, is not all that much. He's showed us a lot of weird cards, so it's hard to know exactly what his entire deck looks like. But this is good enough for me. Round 3, we right back against Mardu mid-range. Alright, we're back. We're on the draw. Well, excuse me, we're on the play, which is better than being on the draw. We're going to keep this hand. We have creatures to be cast. Probably going to just activate Crypt Breaker on turn 2 to get Haunted Dead in the yard. That's a huge leg up going forward. If he kills my Crypt Breaker or anything, we'll have a discard outlet. And it's not... Oh, man. And then we drew that. Alright. I'm just going to play that instead. Again, we're stuck on land, so getting Copter down is pretty nice. It's also another way to get Haunted Dead to the yard. Sure. Here we go. Here. Animate. I'm not going to play my land yet. I'm pretty sure I'll be playing that land, or keeping that land. Yeah, I'm just going to discard this Relentless Dead. Play Westville Abbey. Next turn I can play a 4/4 Diagraph Colossus, which should be out of his burn range and can block his creatures, which was kind of my goal when I discarded the Relentless Dead. And then I still have that floorboards saved up. I'm probably going to end up having to use that off of a Copter this game if it ends up being a close game, because that is the most mana-efficient play. If I use it off Haunted Dead, I lose 2 creatures in the process, 2 2/2s and 2 life. So it's kind of rough, and I'm hoping that doesn't come to that, because it would be ideal if I could just win this game without having to use the unfortunate stylistic properties of Magic Online. So yeah, I'm going to play this 4/4. Guess I would rather just draw a card. That accurate? No, I probably... Loot plus 3 damage is probably better than draw a card. I'm not even 100% sure on that, though. I guess the draw card also costs me a life. So it's loot plus 3 damage, or draw a card, lose 1 life. I think the loot plus 3 damage is reasonable. Man, I really want to just cast this from under the floorboards next turn. It would be so good. Discard, gain 3, put 3 dudes into play. I mean, I could just cast a card, but then I have to discard something to madness. It just really hurts the... It's either I have to take a penalty for playing with these cards, or my opponent has to take a penalty. Either way, that's kind of a bad feeling. I'm going to go ahead and block here. And here. I blocked here, so he's going to point removal on my 4/4 and deal some amount of trample on me, but that's fine. If he does that, he won't be able to cast the card that he flips over with that card. Which is kind of my thought process. So that gets me a 2-for-1. Unless he hits a land, I'm fine. Actually, even if he hits a land, I think he already played one. What do you got? Mountain. Yeah, I think he already played it. Yep, he led the turn by playing a mountain, and now he's upset. I assume. Alright. I'm just going to be the nicest human ever. Discard the stupid swamp. And cast from under the floor. Actually, I could get 1 zombie. No, that's better. Just going to cast this card. Cost myself a card just to give my opponent 6 life. So nice. Every single game where I could have done it, I've been pretty far ahead, so I don't know if that says a lot about my deck, or maybe it's just been complete coincidence. This game might be one of the closer ones, potentially, if he has any plays here, like Radiant Flames or anything relevant. Skyship Sovereign or something. Or Sky Sovereign Council Flagship, I mean. But as of right now, you know, I'm obviously pretty far ahead. I have no cards yet. I know he's got 4 cards. That is not the play he needed to make. It almost doesn't matter what he plays now. That's just, like, not a great play. Also, when he played that land, that was hugely costly for him. He just cost himself a draw that he didn't need to. So I can Haunted Dead, or I can play Relentless Deads. Either way. I'm going to play 2 Relentless Deads. I'm going to draw a card using the 2 Relentless Deads and the Crypt Breaker. The main reason I'm drawing a card here is so I can loot. Ooh, that's a good one. Attack. I expect he's going to trade Copters, but if he blocks 2/2, that's fine. He'll go to 5 and get a loot in. If he blocks Copters, he goes to 6 and gets a loot in as well. The main reason he does this is because Copter really doesn't provide him an extra blocker. He's got to tap a blocker to use it, so trading it off here is actually pretty good. The loot could be good for him too. Discarded a random... Why is that guy in his deck? I guess he's fairly efficient if you do Madness amount. 2 cost 4/1 with upside is like pretty good. So I guess that's his goal. I could buy it. I could dig it. Don't Radiant Flames me. I assume this guy doesn't have anything like Radiant Flames because his deck has a lot of creatures that would also die to Radiant Flames. So, alright. Looks good. We got out of here live. I'm happy with this deck. We obviously went 3-0. We played against the 2 biggest decks of the format with a little aid from an unfortunate bug. But I don't think it helped us out really in ways that we weren't going to win games already. So there's that. But, you know, expect there to be some downtime on Magic Online in the near future while that bug gets fixed. Please don't exploit it. Don't be that guy. So I would recommend basically just holding off on this deck for a little while unless the bug is fixed by the time you see this. Not sure, but in either case, thank you for watching. This has been Mono Black Zombies, one of the discarded brews from my testing for Denver, and I think it shows some promise right now just because of how robust its curve is in the early game, and all the synergy it kind of has going on too. So for TCGplayer.com, I'm Conley Woods, signing off.